I think it's really cool looking back at that Super Bowl you guys made it to in Chicago. I mean, I know you came up short and everything, but you're the first Black head coach to, by a few hours to go to a Super Bowl. And then Tony follows you. And I know you guys have a relationship and that sort of thing. Like, what did that mean? And then also, what do we do to fix the problem? Because there's not enough representation in pro football. And we had 8 coaches a few years ago, 8 head coaches, and it feels like I don't know what happened. So,
yeah. Well,
with your history, in that game and what that meant to you and seeing all that, like what do we do from here?
Well, first, Chris, just growing up, I want to be a coach. Yeah. It helps a lot, when somebody wants to be a defensive end, that they've seen you do it before. Yeah. And they look like you. Mm-hmm. Growing up, I didn't have those role models. I saw Tom Landry on the sideline. That was my perception of a coach. After time, there were a few assistants that we had. I didn't have a Black a coach that I played for until I got to college. But you get into it and you get it. There's an opening. I was the only Black coach on staffs for a lot of years, and things start to change a little bit. I just felt like when I got an opportunity and every Black coach around say, we need to do a good job to bring more opportunities for others. As I start going up through the ranks, though, there are enough people out there, you're bringing attention to it that say, hey, this is wrong, and I'm going to do everything I can to try to change that. And that's how it happened a little bit for me. And as you mentioned, when I did get a chance, Tony and I got a chance to be on that stage. That kind of validated that this can be okay. I mean, there's a long time we knew that we could coach, but that validated it a little bit. So what can we do? The pressure I feel is to do well. I've been blessed. The Mike Tomlins, the guys with an opportunity. We need to do well. On why it has changed, Chris, that's a misnomer to me. Yeah. Because society seems like we've come a long ways, but in the end, it comes down to, do you feel comfortable with a Black man leading your organization? And sometimes I look, for me, since I've gotten 3 opportunities, I don't feel the true, I don't get the full gist of what all has happened. And I don't have any answers except for what I try to do with my staff. You look at our staff, we have Black representation. I don't want to hear this where it's not qualified guys, all of that. There are. Mm-hmm. So to me, trying to get guys in the pipeline and then putting men in position for them to show you who they are. Hep Hamilton, a Black coach, will call offensive plays. He coaches the quarterbacks. All the position that I've heard that we're not supposed to be able to do, we're going to show people that that's not the case and put pressure on people when we do well to hire more of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said it, like the people in the passing game, quarterback coaches, linebacker coaches, it seems like they try to protect those pipelines.
Yes.
It's intentional or unintentional. It's been, and I thought there was a big movement away from defensive head coaches a couple of years ago. I feel like, that was a thing for a while. And then we go back to these young quarterback coach phenoms. But you're right. It's like, if you don't get the opportunity to grow in that pipeline, it's going to be hard to rise to the top.
Yeah. And Chris, as you said, I mean, I'm a 64-year-old. I've seen an awful lot.
Yeah.
You get in box, all right, and who gets a head job? All right, well, I'm looking for an offensive guy, quarterback coach. Well, there are not any Black quarterback coaches, not a whole lot of offensive coordinators. So you're not going to get any head football coaches. Yeah. And you're right. There were more defensive guys in position, but defensive coaches, no, we want an offensive coach. We've heard all of those different things. And eventually, though, you have 32 owners, and you need somebody with an open mind that says, these people can do it. When you're in the locker room, I mean, how many times, Chris, do you say, you know what, my teammate is Black? A lot of those things don't come up. You just judge a man based on what he can do, but you have to be deliberate, and it's got to be intentional about hiring someone.
Yeah.
You can't, well, it just didn't happen. No, you had to make a point of looking beyond that. And it's just not about interviews. Yeah. I'm going to interview these guys. I know who. No, you got to be real and give people a chance. And I think you'll be surprised at what you can find on a lot of people that look like me.
Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.